Video about my Patreon. I'm going to be closing it down this week, and I just wanted to say to everyone that supported me on there over the last couple years I had it, thank you so much. I don't think you understand the impact that's had on my life. I just can't really put into words what it means to me, and I just want to thank you so much for your support, just so much for all the support you've given me on there. I just wish I could convey better the impact that that's had on my life. I was fucking able to move out of my parents' house, which is something I didn't see myself being able to do for a very, very long time. But thanks to all the Patreon supporters, I was able to get a nice little apartment where I can just hang out and just do me. I can walk around naked and lock eyes with people that are sitting around by the pool so they get more than they bargained for. I can sit in front of my window and pet a stuffed animal so people think that I'm a really cool guy. I just have a lot more freedom, and it's all thanks to all of you. Now, obviously, I was just kidding about sitting by a window and petting a stuffed animal. I wouldn't do that. I'd sit by the pool and pet a stuffed animal. But the point I'm trying to make is the money you've given me on Patreon has truly been life-changing, and I can't thank you enough. Now, the reason I'm closing down the Patreon is because the podcast that I run with Kaya, Jackson, and Andrew is something we're all really passionate about and would like to be able to keep doing consistently and making it consistently good. So we're launching a Patreon for that, and we're splitting that between the four of us because Andrew and Jackson are miserable with their jobs, and Kaya, while he does love his country, is just ready for a change in scenery and wants to experience new things, and he can't really afford to do that right now. So we came to the conclusion that maybe the podcast was the answer. It's something we all really love doing. Maybe that could be a way to help Andrew and Jackson not have to be miserable and to let Kaya see other beautiful countries in the world too. So we put a Patreon up for it. The link's in the description if you want to check that out if you like the podcast. If you don't like the podcast, that's totally fine too. We all hate the podcast ourselves, so we obviously wouldn't blame you if you didn't like it either. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video to let you all know that my Patreon will be closing and the podcast one will be opening if you want to support the podcast. But I also really wanted to make this because I really haven't been good at doing anything on Patreon with thanking supporters or anything. I don't really know how to use Patreon, and I've not ever been good at expressing my real feelings or anything because my voice is just a one-tone thing. My voice doesn't really convey emotions very well. It just sounds like the world's most unenthusiastic handjob talking at you. But I just wanted to try my best to let you know that the supporters on Patreon